get started. So welcome to CryptoPulse Weekly with Dr. Demi. This is an analysis of the cryptocurrency markets on a weekly basis, helping you to make sense of it all and also dropping some nuggets of information and doing some knowledge transfer. So basically, what we usually do is we have 4 segments. For anybody just joining, we have 4 segments. The first segment will talk about the market review, which are the news that have moved the market in the last 1 week and what the implication will be in the coming weeks or months. The next, we'll talk about crypto vital signs, which is basically an assessment of the reserve currency of cryptocurrencies, which is Bitcoin, with a view to helping people understand where we are in the market and what to do in terms of market positioning. Then we'll talk about Crypto Deep, which is essentially a knowledge transfer section, as I earlier explained. After that, we'll take questions and answers. So let's get cracking. This week, we've had quite some interesting things come up this week. So the first one that caught my interest was the price of Bitcoin. Of course, that's always of interest for everyone because everyone wants to know what the price of Bitcoin will do. And there were a lot of predictions in the previous week that the price of Bitcoin is going to crash or is going to come down below 10,000 after the initial dip to 9,800. But there and then I told someone that the market has a way of doing exactly opposite what people are predicting, and that's exactly what happened. So the market has basically ranged between 10,000 and 11,000 throughout the course of the week. It's hit 11,000 now about 3 times during the course of the week. And there seems to be a lot of buying support, and I will explain probably why that is in the subsequent slides. But the price has remained relatively stable, and it looks like the bull run is gathering momentum again to take a forward launch. A good example of what's driving the market is the Ethereum transactions. So anyone who's tried to transfer Ethereum on the blockchain during this week will have noticed very quickly that not only are the transactions very slow, they are also very expensive. And what's driving that all-time high for Ethereum transactions during this week? So the Ethereum transactions are sort of at an all-time high currently because there is a lot of interest in DeFi, and most of the DeFi play currently is running on the back of Ethereum. So it's using Ethereum as a fuel to process those transactions. And that's why Ethereum is so, the transaction is so slow, and the fuel and gas price is so high because the transaction, the network is congested and you have a lot of transaction. To add to that is the launching of Uniswap, which I'll talk about later, which sort of created some frenzy yesterday. I think I have that in a slide or two. Then we have this stable coin. I don't want to call it stable coin bull run now, or emancipation of stable coin. Apparently, stable coin have been growing at a rate of about 100 million every day since July. And that's because more and more companies are positioning on the market for stable coins. For the benefit of people who do not know what stable coins are cryptocurrencies that are tied to particular fiat currencies. Example, USDT, called Theta. It was the first stablecoin, I think, that was tied to the US dollar. And it's basically supposed to track the value of the dollar. The reason it was created initially was to help traders, people who wanted to participate in cryptocurrency trading and intercurrency arbitrage, to bank their profits. So let's say, as a good example, when crypto was when Bitcoin was selling at 10,000 or 9,800. I bought some for, let's say, $10,000. Now, if in the next 12 days, Bitcoin goes to 12,000, I decide to sell to profit, I can easily trade off my Bitcoin for USDT. What that means is that USDT is going to allow me bank my 10,000 because that Bitcoin, that one Bitcoin that I bought at $9,800 is now worth 12,000. So when I sell it, I'm going to be making about 20% profit plus. So what that does is it allows me to bank my profit. And if I bank my profit, because stable coins are usually tied to physical currencies or physical currency reserve, I'm able to cash out. So most most big exchanges, apart from having the regular USDT, USDC, they also have what you call exchange-specific stable coins. So Crypto.com has something like True USD, True GBP, True Australian dollar, which are stable coins backed by physical currencies. So there's been a stable coin boom. What that is telling me is that the market is getting ready and the institutions are also getting ready for the eventual bull run. Because what happens in the bull run is the market gets pumped so hardly. And after a while, the institutions that get tired of profits and they say, you know, we need to bank some profits. So they start buying back stable coins with cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum and the like. So that's a sign that the market is gradually positioning itself to take on the bull run. In terms of regulation, many people have been aware of this, that the government of Nigeria declared cryptocurrencies, the SEC declared cryptocurrencies as securities. Quite a lot of implications for Nigeria and Africa, to be honest, and quite a lot of implications for people who hold cryptocurrencies in Nigeria and entrepreneurs in the space as well. Because what it means is that Nigeria is quick to recognize and admit that, you know, there's a trend going on here and we better catch up before we get left behind. On the other hand, what it means for business is that people can now legitimately set up cryptocurrency startups in the country. And I was having a chat with a friend of mine yesterday, and I said, you know what, this might actually be our get out of jail card if we can devote ourselves to be the cryptocurrency hub for the continent or for the region. We might be able to do great things as a country. But that was just my my wish. Only God knows whether that will come to pass. So yeah, that's cryptocurrencies for Nigeria. And speaking of that, we do have we're setting up a cryptocurrency funds for folks in Nigeria. So if you have anybody that's interested in investing in cryptocurrency funds, you can get in touch with me shortly after. In terms of regulation as well, the European Union regulation for cryptocurrency got leaked during the week. I will tell you shortly about that. And in terms of sentiment, DeFi is generally pushing the market forward. And apart from drawing back old investors, it's also bringing attention of institutional investors and newer investors. And yeah, I'll go into details on the subsequent sections. So the first thing is Uniswap. If you've not heard about Uniswap before, Uniswap is a venture capital backed company that was set up to provide decentralized finance cryptocurrency services. So decentralized finance is what we're calling DeFi. And Uniswap was set up by venture capitalists to take advantage of the DeFi space and provide services within the DeFi space. I'm going to talk about DeFi much later, but basically what Uniswap has done, a bit different from all the other providers of DeFi cryptocurrency services, is that they brought together all the separate services. So initially in the DeFi space, most of the providers were sitting around what we call DEXs or decentralized exchanges. meaning you could exchange money the same way you could take your money to the exchange and, buy and sell. You could exchange money on the DeFi platform from your own private wallet. So the whole concept of DeFi is, personal finance, responsibility for your finance, holding your money, having no one control your money. So this guy is set up to provide a platform to help people carry out those services. But in addition to that, they got creative and started introducing things like pool staking or liquidity staking or pool liquidity and yield farming. And those products or those aspects of DeFi are actually part of the things that are crazily driving the market right now. So during the week, they launched their DeFi token. Before now, just to put it in perspective, Uniswap went from zero to 1 billion market cap in less than a month because of these services. And at some point in the last few weeks, the market capitalization of Uniswap, the market capitalization in terms of volume of trade on their platform exceeded that of Coinbase. Coinbase is one of the biggest cryptocurrency exchanges in the world. Their trading volume for the day exceeded that of Coinbase. That's how big they got, and that's how much interest they have drawn. So when they came out on Wednesday and said they were going to launch their own governance token called UNI, of course, the whole market went crazy. And to add spice to the craze, they launched on Binance and then said anybody who has used Uniswap in the last month or before the beginning of the month, they were going to give them 400 tokens for free. I thought it was a joke initially because the opening price for the token was about $2.50 on Binance. And lo and behold, they started dishing out that 400 uni, and of course the whole Ethereum network got congested and everything just froze. And then the price kept going up. I think it went up to $15 yesterday. It's been double now. It's like double now. It's about $5 or thereabouts now already. So there's a lot of
$8,
I would say, for Uniswap as we speak. So they released the governance token. They're definitely going to create a lot of chaos in the DeFi space. And side notes, if you're interested, I think you should buy Uniswap. I think it's going to be a fantastic coin to hold for the next 12 months. It's already done. It's done almost 100% in one day, which is insane on its own. But I think the crowd is going crazy for them. Let me use that word. So it's for them to have launched on. So they launched on Binance yesterday, and by this morning, both Coinbase and Crypto.com have launched them. That's unprecedented. I've not seen any token that got launched by the big boys, quote unquote, like that. Frankly, none. And within 24 hours. So it tells me that there's something serious going on. And because in terms of the team, the venture capitalist backed company, most venture capitalist backed companies are pre-structured. Let me use that word. So they are structured in such a way that the company itself is very commoditized. It is sellable and it is attractive from the get-go. That's the way venture capitalist backed companies are packaged and they are made to operate. So the very structure of the organization is going to make sure that the venture capitalists can make back their money. So you can be sure that if you hold this coin for the next 6 months to 9 months, you should make some significant profits. Don't put a gun to my neck, but I think 10x is a very easy and achievable target. So if you still bought it today, when it's already 100% gain, what I'm saying is you could still get to sell it for more than $50 in the months to come, conservatively. So that's Uniswap. Wish Uniswap all the best, and we wish all of us token holders all the best in our holding. Going on, we'll talk about another interesting story about institutional adoption. That's pouring fuel to the bull run. So if you remember a few weeks ago, I talked about these guys called MicroStrategy. So MicroStrategy is like a fintech company. And what they made news for them was that they said, you know what, we're going to start using part of our cash reserves to buy Bitcoin. So then, I think that was in July, I can't remember, or August. They started buying Bitcoin and they bought up to $250 million in Bitcoins. And everybody was shouting like, wow, what's going on? And, they said, well, they felt if they held Bitcoin for a couple of years, it's a lot better than just holding their portfolio in cash. And everybody made a lot of noise about them. Then a few weeks later, they came back and said, you know what, we're doubling down. Now we're going to increase our stake. So they went from 250 million, added more money, and now they've purchased a total of $450 million in Bitcoin. That's the first major institution that have boldly and openly made their, stance known. It's a publicly traded company, by the way. They have made their stance known on their positioning for Bitcoin. So they bought 450 million worth of Bitcoin, and they said they are ready to hold for 100 years. Keep those words in your mind, that they're ready to hold for another 100 years. And as if to justify the CEO's, direction, when they made the second purchase, the stock of that company jumped by 9%. So it's interesting to note, like some pundits say, that there are only 555 or 556 companies that can, or there's only enough Bitcoin to go around for 555 companies to do what the kind of thing that MicroStrategy has done. Some, mathematical pundits just put that out there to say, you know what, not everybody's going to be able to do this in the years to come or in the months to come. And one thing I'm sure of is that many companies will be doing this silently and not, the guy probably needed to do that because it's a publicly traded company and people have shares in the company. But it shows you the kind of demand that is coming upon the market. It's unimaginable. Like somebody asked me that, if all this thing you are telling me is true, how do you sleep at night? I said, yeah, I don't sleep at night. That personally, I don't sleep at night because it just will, where do I get money to position for these things? That's the that's the overriding thought. Moving on, Kraken goes Main Street. So Kraken is one of the big exchanges in the United States. Massive operations in the United States. They're significantly focused on United States customers, but they took a major step in the past week. They got a banking charter from the state of Wyoming. Wyoming is one of those Midland states. Let me just put it that way. In the US, I think it's a little bit to the northwest. It's around northwest. Yes, it's one of those interland states, but massive landmass. Yeah, very massive landmass. So Wyoming is one of those states in the middle, and they've given Kraken an opportunity or the license to become a bank, essentially, so that the first physical crypto bank in the world, quote unquote, because with that banking charter, they're able to operate like a normal bank. They're able to transact in both physical and digital currencies. They have opportunity to back up their digital currencies with cash reserves. So while that is a first in the United States and in an unexpected state as well, my expectation is that many of the more advanced and commerce service states will start scrambling to see which company they also can grant banking charters to, so that they can start mainstreaming people into crypto. Why is this important? People talk about the ramp up and ramp down channels on cryptocurrencies. Ramp up meaning the channels through which you get on board with cryptocurrencies, and ramp down meaning how you cash out. For many people in the last bull run, the major challenge was ramp up and ramp down, really, because people were not able to sign up easily. Then when people signed up, it was quite difficult to sell off, then to retrieve cash and all that. Now you have institutions like this bringing you end-to-end solution to say, you can buy now and you can sell tomorrow, and we'll give you your money. And what that does is that it not only increases institutional interest. It also increases retail interest. So if you add that to our original story of Wall Street starting to sell crypto and crypto derivatives to customers, you can see that we're not prepared for what is coming our way in terms of the cryptocurrency boom over the next 3 to 5 years. So that's cracking. Moving on, we talked about European Union and the draft proposal they had for cryptocurrency assets. It was leaked somehow during the week, and from the analysis of the lawyers, securities lawyers, it looks like they want to regulate crypto like any other financial instrument. So like stocks, bonds, and the likes. That seems to be the most overarching message or proposal in that crypto law for the European Union. I mean, you should bear in mind that once this becomes law, very easily, most companies, I mean, most countries will just do copy and paste and apply the law to their countries. So I hope we all realize what that means. I mean, once this becomes law, wherever you are, don't be surprised that your version of the cryptocurrency laws might be very similar to the European one, because, I mean, why do you need to rebuild from scratch when somebody has created a template? So that's expected to come out before the end of the year, but it's already out from leaking sources, sorry. So that's about that on the news. In terms of our crypto vital signs, we've made some gains in the last 1 week in terms of market capitalization, about 10 billion in gain from last week till now has come into the market. And of course, that means there have been gains on the altcoin side as well. Market dominance has dropped to 56.7%. Remember what I said about, I think a week or two ago, that market dominance is an indication of altcoin boom, that when the crypto boom is really at the peak, you might see Bitcoin dominance dropping to like 30%. So now it's dropped to 56. If it's 60 and above, it's usually an indication that you're in a bear market. So it's dropped to 56. It's on its way down. I don't have the chart here, but the chart's on its way down. It looked like it was going to break up during the week, but the chart's on its way down, obviously, right now. And as I said, we're still in a very small, we're in our primordial state. Let me use that word. We're still very small compared to the US equities market. Like I always keep this example. I like the example a lot. This is the US equity market at 35 trillion. This is where we are at 0.001. Yeah, 0.001 of the equities market. So you can just imagine how far we are from when crypto become equal to the equities market, or even half. It's very significant, very, very significant. So in terms of the technical analysis for Bitcoin, as we usually do, this is the daily charts for Bitcoin. And on this daily chart, you will notice that we have these colorful lines, that I've made these lines colorful so that you can see the different how do I put it, the different aspects of the chart. So the colorful lines on this side is Fibonacci retracement analysis from the Bitcoin low of 4,000 in March to the recent high that we had in September of 12,400. Now that shows us that we've crossed some important lines in times past. So one of them is at 10,600. We've crossed over that now. The short-term resistance and support that we have, you can see we've attempted to breach two of them successfully. So we've breached 10,410, we breached 10,800, touched slightly on 11,200. Now it's coming back to 10,800. I think it's probably going to go back up after today or tomorrow, or it will try to break this channel. So you can see on the other hand, we're sort of having an ascending channel to the right of the chart, and the market seems to be going up on that channel. If it breaks this line, which is 10,008, it's probably going to try to break 10,004. If it doesn't succeed in breaking, then it will try to break 11,012. I think over the next 2 weeks, the market's probably try to recover back to around 12,000 or breaking range until there's something important to push the market. On the hourly, it looks like, it's really coming down. Oh, sorry, this is 4 hourly, I think. Yeah, this is 4 hourly, it's not daily. Sorry, this is a drill down on the previous charts. That's the wrong annotation. So here you can see that it's really breaking down. But as you have seen in previous time, it's tried 3,800 three times now, and it's not broken through. So if it touches it again and doesn't break through, then you know that the market's going to try to push upward. So that's for our chart analysis. For our market cycle analysis, as I like to call this chart, for people who are just joining for the first time, this chart is a sentiment chart, or what they call the psychology of the market cycle, that works for every single commodity or security that is ever sold. You will always have a period of disbelief, followed by a period of hope, followed by optimism, then some belief, then thrill, then euphoria, then complacency, then anxiety, then denial, then panic, then capitulation, then anger, then depression, then back to disbelief. So at every point in time, we need to ask ourselves the question, where are we in this market? So as I told you, we've been sitting here for a while now. We were here before, around May, June. But now we're here because we can see signs that, this is real. Most people are not getting invested now because the only people who are here are optimists and people who have seen this happen before. So by the time the price starts to climb, let's say December, for whatever reason, let's say December, Bitcoin is selling at 25,000, then we have moved from optimism and we'll be on our way to belief. Of course, by that time, the market is getting crowded. Everybody will be talking about Bitcoin, and all the news will be talking about Bitcoin. But don't quote me. There are options being put for Bitcoin futures in December for $36,000 per one Bitcoin. It's possible. I mean, if people are already betting against it, that means there's something they are seeing that other people are not seeing. But definitely, it's possible. And if you have people like MicroStrategy buying Bitcoin openly at such ridiculous volumes, only God knows what the others are doing in secret. I'm just saying. So we need to keep that in mind. If you've not bought your Bitcoins or you've not bought your cryptos, now is a good time to load up. And if you bought and you feel you are at a loss currently because the market dipped from the highs of last month, I would say just wait 2 or 3 more weeks and you should be able to cash in. In terms of our fear and greed sentiment, if you remember last week it was 44, then at some point it was 41 during the previous week. Now it's moved, people are more comfortable, nobody's scared again, the bulls are back. So it's moving to neutral now. I mean, it's just a matter of days time. We're probably seeing it in greed. Of course, if you noted last month we were at extreme greed, which was 80. This sentiment is fantastic, and I'll say that again. I don't know what algorithms are running behind it, but it's always a good index of when to sell and when to buy. And I said it last week that last week was a good time to buy because there was fear in the house, so it's a good time to buy for Bitcoin. So for another 1 or 2 weeks, I think we'll still be in the greedy zone. And then maybe there'll be some correction or maybe we'll get greedier. But this is showing that, yeah, we're getting back on the bullish run. In terms of technical analysis dashboard, in the short term, Bitcoin is a sell, like we saw on the charts. So it's a sell, meaning people that are intraday traders are scalpers. Scalpers are people that just try to profit off short-term price movements. They are currently, selling off the Bitcoins. I mean, definitely because Bitcoin has moved from 10,000 to 11,000. So you would have banked some profits, nevertheless. But long-term traders like daily traders, swing traders, long-term traders, everybody is still holding their buy positions. So it's important that the market's still bullish, very bullish. And for the altcoins, I think I need to mention that. So many of the altcoins that, especially if you bought around 31st and the 1st of September, which was at the peak of the market, most of them are still not recovered yet. I think most of them are even off by 30 to 20% from their previous high. So anyone that bought at that point in time will be down by like 20 to 30%. But nothing to worry about. As I said, like as I usually say, nothing to worry about. If your car breaks down, and I know this doesn't apply for the guys in the West for so much, but I mean, if you're in Nigeria, your car breaks down on a downward slope, and that downward slope, just for example, let's say that downward slope is 6 kilometers long, and where the car stopped to walking, it's complete bush, but you are still on the run. And they say if you stop there, instead that you get attacked by wild animals or you get carried away by kidnappers, you can't stop there because of those inherent dangers, because then you're going to lose your car, you could lose your life. But your only comfort is that the car is on a downward slope anyways. So if the worst thing you can do is, the best you can do is put it in neutral and let the car do the rolling. It will eventually roll out of those zones. And by the time you get to the bottom of that slope, you will probably have gotten somewhere to get a rescue. So in the same way, that analogy is for the market. We're on a bull run. Don't take that away. Make no mistake, we're in a bull run. No matter what happens day to day, we're in a bull run. No matter at what price you buy. In fact, I was talking to somebody and I said, if Bitcoin goes the ways of the futures and become 36,000 in December, you can still buy and you still make 100% profit. He said, how is that possible? I said, because by the time Bitcoin is 36,000, the whole world is going to go crazy. So, and we've not even gotten to that yet. So we still have, how many weeks now? Yeah, we have less than 6 weeks to the US election. The market will probably climb up to US election. Two things are likely to happen. If the market has priced, which I think the market will, if the market has priced Joe Biden winning in, then if Joe Biden wins, the market will just continue shooting up. If the market did not price him winning, but I think the market has priced him winning in. If the market did not price him winning and Ogbeni Trump wins, then what will then happen is that the market will suddenly hit a crash, boom, there's quickly recover and start going off on its own. So for anyone who's had, I had a couple of positions myself for, I think, I had some for Chainlink, I had some for Contentos. I had like 4 or 5 tokens that I bought when the market was, at the peak. So when I look at their current prices now, it's showing a drawdown of 20, 30%. It's not really significant because in a short while, you know that those tokens will recover, especially once Bitcoin starts to plateau. So it might happen that Bitcoin gets into a sudden rush and stays above 11,000 or stays at 12,000 till US election. During the few days that it does that, usually the altcoins will catch up and will easily, recover from their previous highs. In fact, some of them are already recovered from that August 31st high. So that's that for our technical analysis. In terms of crypto drip, which is our topic of discussion today, which is DeFi, I've brought out this diagram just to simplify in our mind what DeFi means. As I said in previous sessions, DeFi simply is decentralized finance. So we understand what finance is. Finance is banking, borrowing, lending, investments, fixed deposit investments, low interest investment, mutual funds, all those things go into banking and finance. The concept of DeFi is saying we don't want the banks anymore. We're taking the we're sacking the banks, and we're going to be managing our funds with computers and our own wallets. So all we have to do is we'll get our own offline wallets, plug it to a DeFi platform, and buy and sell. If we also want to take a loan, we'll use our tokens or our coins as collateral and take a loan and do whatever we want to do with it. So that's basically what DeFi is. But in terms of the breakdown, the components of DeFi as we have it today, it's usually around these three things: decentralized exchanges, which is what I just described, selling and buying directly from your wallet, just using the DeFi platform as the intermediary. Of course, the market makers are here, which is what I'm going to talk about next, which is liquidity pool. So in a normal exchange, like Binance, like Kraken, like Coinbase, like Crypto.com, you have what you call market makers. If you're a forex trader, you probably understand that terminology. Market maker is the person providing the funds that is buffering the platform. So if somebody wants to buy one Bitcoin against $1, if the person has Bitcoin and wants to buy US dollar, the market maker ensures that US dollar is available if there is nobody to sell US dollar to that person. So the market maker can be the exchanges themselves who are providing the liquidity in case there are no sellers or buyers for the instruments of interest. And for most parts, very big exchanges use their own funds as market makers. Others use designated market makers. So they have an agreement with some whales that provide them Bitcoin, and they promise the whales that will pay you back, so in bonus for your Bitcoins. So you have those arrangements with regular exchanges. But in DeFi space, the market makers are the guys in the liquidity pool. And who are these guys in the liquidity pools? They're just people like you and me who have coins that want to provide for the platform for people to use as means of exchange. A good example is if I want to buy Uniswap with Ethereum. So Uniswap Uni is the new governance token of Uniswap. So if I want to buy Uni with Ethereum, I have Ethereum. The DeFi platform will show me the price that Ethereum is selling against Uniswap, and then it will tell me whether there is liquidity or not. So if I say buy, it can tell you that there's no liquidity pool or there's no liquidity for this transaction. What it means is that no one is willing to provide liquidity for that transaction. So that transaction will not go through. However, if what I'm trying to, hold on a second, please. I'm trying to open the Uniswap interface. That was what I was done. So this is what the Uniswap interface looks like. So if I say I want to buy Ethereum, I'll say I have Ethereum. The amount of Ethereum that I have will show up somewhere here. And I say, I want to buy, let's see, Uni. I'll say I want to buy Uni. Before being able to carry out this transaction, I'll need to connect my offline wallet. So if I click connect wallets, you have the option of various wallets. I used to have MetaMask. I'm not sure. Yeah, MetaMask is not connected in this one. Sorry. cancel. Just give me a second. I'm trying to look for, just trying to make an example of the workings of the DeFi platform. Let's see. I think I have I'm trying to get one of my offline wallets that I have on. I have the, what's it called for the browser? It works. That would be fantastic. But I thought it might be more. Yeah. Yes. So I think that's. I think I have a MetaMask here. If it doesn't work, then I'll just go ahead and explain my. Yeah, it's not on this one. It's not on this one. Sorry, it's not on this computer. Sorry about that. But basically, I can connect any of those wallets, any of these wallets, Coinbase, what's connect, any of these wallets, I can connect them to this platform. So connecting them to this platform, the platform is able to read how much I have. It can't take away the funds from my wallet, but it's able to read how much I have. But connecting the wallets means that the platform is able to read how much I have. So if I say I want to buy Uniswap, it will tell me how much Uniswap I can buy. So if I say, yeah, I have one Ethereum, you can see that it tells me that I have 54 Uniswap available for one Ethereum. And then it will tell me this is the price impact. This is the liquidity provider fee. Liquidity provider, if you remember, is from the liquidity pool. So it tells me this is the liquidity provider fee, and this is how much I'm going to get if I have one Ethereum. So once I connect my offline wallet, it may even be a Ledger Nano or a Coinbase wallet or a Binance wallet or a Trust wallet or my Ethereum wallet, I'm able to then carry out this transaction. So the reason this is DeFi is because Uniswap as a platform on its own does not have governance over or custody over the funds, either on the buyer side, on the seller side. So this one Ethereum will come from my connected wallet, and the unit that I want to buy is going to come from the liquidity provider. So as you can see, liquidity provider, they get 0.3% as incentive for providing funds. So depending on the traffic, and that's why this is such a craze, or this is why everybody is going into a frenzy because of DeFi. Depending on the traffic on that pair, the the liquidity providers can make insane money, even though they can lose their money as well, but they can make insane money because if people keep buying this pair and they're providing liquidity, at some point they will have made so much money because of the traffic. And the price here is also being determined by them. So if they say they're not going to sell at 1 to 54 again, it has to be 1 to 52 now. It's been divided by decided by the liquidity provider. So automatically they're making supernormal profits. So that's that in terms of swap. The other functionality is providing liquidity, which I talked about. For you to provide liquidity as well, in the same way, you can create a pair, or you can just add liquidity for one half of the pair by connecting your wallet. So again, it's your wallet with your funds for providing liquidity for the platform. And because of that, people have made insane money from the last bull run and are looking for ways to double their portfolio, are very fascinated by this. And that's why Uniswap is making such a huge wave in the market so far. So you can see what I was talking about the other time. Liquidity has gone to 1.7 billion from June, where the liquidity was less than $3. So right now it's done, yeah, it's gone back and up again. It's currently sitting at 1.7 billion. So 24-hour volume of almost $500 million. That's a very significant amount of transaction. Of course, you can see, yeah, here's units of 90%. These are the stable coins, Theta and USDT. This wrapped Ether and wrapped BTC are DeFi coins that are being traded as well. Of course, we know about Wi-Fi. So, in short, DeFi provides you the opportunity to secretly double your money. Let me use that word, if there's anything like that. Because what this does is, because the platform does not care who you are, does not care where your wallet is coming from. As long as you can connect your wallet to the platform and provide liquidity, you automatically, this whole system is run by what you call smart contracts, which are like auto-executed or robotic automations that carry out the transactions unaided and without any intervention. They just work on the algorithm. So any funds that you get from the transactions automatically get divided among the people providing the liquidity. The platform will get its own as the platform, hosting everything. But the guys providing liquidity will also get theirs as well. The reason this is, I know many people will be struggling with this concept, but the reason this is a big deal for guys already in crypto is that many of the people just have their Bitcoin sitting in their wallets for all these years, just holding. But if you now choose to connect your Bitcoin to a liquidity pool and provide liquidity, you'll be, your money will be working for you hard without anybody interfering. So this is why it's such a big deal, because if you have to take it to the exchange, you might need to do KYC. They want to ask you, where did you get the money from? Whose money is it? Is it your grandfather? Where's your grandfather's head? They ask you all those crazy questions. Then if God helps you, you lose your two-factor authentication. They will ask you for your great grandfather, your generational line, whether they give birth to any boy or girl. All sort of crazy questions. So DeFi takes away all of that bullshit. Sorry for my friend, but it takes that all away. You connect your wallets and provide liquidity to any DeFi platform, and anybody carries out the transaction. It's a new concept. It's not like it's entirely new, but it's relatively new. It came to be after the last bull run, and it's the main theme of this bull run. I can say that for sure, that DeFi is going to be the defining theme for the 2020-2021 bull run. And I mean, somebody asked me whether the bull run is going to come. Whether the bull run is going to come. He said, when is this bull run going to come? So I said that the bull run has already started. That the reason is not obvious is because we've not gotten to the all-time high of the price of Bitcoin. And that's why people don't know that the bull run started. Because if Bitcoin was at 3,000 a few years ago and has not gone back to 3,000 all those months, and is now sitting at around the price it has always been, even before the last bull run. So before the last bull run, it was dangling around 11 and 12,000 for a long time before it shot up to 14,000 and 16,000 and 19,600, almost 20,000. So we're already in the bull run. It's just that it's still in the warm-up stage. It's not full blown. And like I said, from December and January, you start to see fireworks, definitely, regardless of whether there is lockdown or there is no lockdown. Some people are already saying there might be phase 2 lockdown. Yeah, regardless of whether there is lockdown or no lockdown, you're likely to see some significant fireworks from December. So in short, that's what. Oh, sorry, I didn't talk about yield farming. Yield farming is now is a saying in Yoruba that says you turn 20 to 40, money doubling. Yield farming is almost like money doubling. I don't know how best to explain it. So in yield farming, I can take a loan against my crypto, use my crypto to provide liquidity. Then the funds that I get bring it back and take a loan against that, then use what I get again to provide liquidity. So it's almost like creating an auto Ponzi with myself, but pinging in between yield farming and liquidity pool. As long as the market is going up, this is more than a money doubler. The money can be going exponentially, because what it means is, if I had one Bitcoin, if the loan to value ratio is 50%, I can put my money down, the one Bitcoin, take 0.5% as loan. My one Bitcoin is still sitting here, nothing is happening. Put the 0.5% in liquidity pool. Once my liquidity pool doubles, pull it out, bring it back, by which time it might be 0.5%, but 0.5 might have become another one Bitcoin here. I bring it out, bring it back to the yield farming, double my position, then borrow the double again and take it back in. I don't do that. Just disclaimer, I'm not skilled. I'm not that skilled yet. And I don't have that kind of money to do the kind of stunts that it's people that made money from the last bull run that are doing that. But that's what they're doing. And that's why this yield farming and DeFi thing is going crazy, because it means you can just drop the money here, borrow against it, push it back up, then borrow against it, and push it back up again. So you just keep pinging the money back and forth between the liquidity pool and yield farming and keep doubling the capital. So that's why it's so everything is going crazy with DeFi, in short. So how do you get involved with DeFi? Same thing as getting involved with crypto, just with slight difference. Get the wallet, register and sign up the wallet, write out and store your access key, download an app like crypto.com that you can easily buy crypto on, download the Uniswap app or go to Uniswap, as I showed you just now, Uniswap what's it called now? .org or .com. .org. Go to uniswap.org, app.uniswap.org, connect your wallet. After you've downloaded the app, connect your wallet to the app, then fund your wallet with Ethereum, because you need Ethereum as transactional fee to move other cryptos around. And that's that for today. Happy to take questions. I think I still have about 5 minutes before we run out of time. So if you're on Instagram, just type in your question. If you're on Zoom, you can unmute your mic, and we'll take questions.
Thank you, Dr. Demi.
Well, sir.
Yeah, sorry, we didn't talk about the risk there. Like maybe you have some challenge, you have some challenges, and is there customer care or support that you can discuss with when everything is faceless? That one by the side. Yesterday morning it was this. I follow this Binance CEO on Twitter.
Okay.
It was one that woke me up around 4 a.m. He said, it's not a financial advice, but they have a UNI on Binance now. I just went there and I saw it 2.4. I said, okay, let me just throw away $200. So I put it there. I'm already on times 3 now. So I think what I want to bring about from this, is there a way, maybe on this platform, that we can get to know if some crazy things like that are about to happen? I don't know, because the earlier for us.
I mean, if people want it, I can provide alerts as I get them. So when did I get this one? Oh, I got it in the morning when I woke up in the morning.
Well, it was only Binance and Uniswap that has it there. In fact, I was following when other exchanges.
Yeah. Binance, it was only Binance and Uniswap that had it.
Yes.
And I remember telling people that they shouldn't be quick to sell, because I was in another forum where people who had used Uniswap before were getting free 400 tokens of Uni.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so if you use Uniswap before the 1st of September, they would once you put in your Ethereum address or the address of your wallet that you use for the transaction, they will automatically tell you whether that address is. Of course, a program that just runs in the background and checks the blockchain to see whether that wallet has been used before the 1st of September. And then it tells you that you can claim 400 uni. But because that 400 uni was only claimable from one single smart contract address called Uniswap distributor, something like that, on Etherscan. That address was severely jammed. So the address was severely jammed. Ethereum network itself was severely jammed because then everybody all of a sudden wanted to collect their 400 uni. And the people already had their uni or they already bought some on Binance. Well, we're having a field day. It went up to $15 yesterday on Binance.
Yeah, I saw it.
So yeah, in terms of alerts, if I do have significant alert, but the problem is the reason I'm not quick to do that is because I will only give you an alert if it's a coin that I already know what the fundamentals are and what it's doing, and I've studied it.
It's true.
So I don't want to come and give somebody alerts and I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And because of Sushi and Sushi Swap, there was a lot of bad name being given, and Hot Dog. There was a lot of bad name being given to Uniswap, and I think that was probably why they decided to do a freebie to calm people's nerves down. But when I did study it over yesterday and today, I've told people close to me that if you have some funds, please buy Uni token. Even as at now, I mean, it's currently trading at, I don't know what's trading at now. It was £4.
It was as high as 8.3 few minutes ago.
Yeah, so that's about £5 now. So if you still buy, and what I've sold guys is that I will not be surprised if Uniswap is selling for £1,000. I mean, sorry, $1,000 in the next 10 months. I will not be surprised at all. And people will immediately ask me, why these are things that, very straightforward. If the market values a commodity and places a premium on it, then nobody will be willing to undersell.
Okay.
If the starting price was $2 or thereabouts on Binance, and it went from $2 to 15 on the first day, and is already climbing back, this is just the second day. It's barely 48 hours. And it has the same maximum supply as Chainlink, by the way. So Chainlink didn't even start from $2 now. Chainlink probably starts from cents, if I remember very well. So I think and because we're now already in the bull run. Chainlink started, in the bear market. We're already in the bull run. They're priced in at a already high price at $2. It can only go up. In fact, if I were to tell you, I would say instead of buying Bitcoin, buy Uniswap. I don't want to say it's not a financial advice. It is a financial advice. Buy Uniswap instead. You might be able to make more ROI than even if you had Bitcoin. Like Dr. Larry, now, tomorrow morning, if you choose to check out your original $200, I'm sure you'll still be left with about 400 to 800, depending on what the price does.
Yes. Yeah.
Bearing in mind, that's another thing. Bearing in mind that there's usually a lot of traffic over the weekend. Crypto is a very funny market. Over the weekend, especially from Thursday to Sunday nights, there's a lot of traffic in the crypto market, and that's because a lot of people who are working during the week just have enough time on their hands, and some of them are people who made a lot of money from the last bull run, so they have a lot of money to push around. So if people who did not have time during the week now descend on Uniswap, I don't know what will happen by next week. So it is a financial advice. You can buy Uniswap. Even though like someone is, don't hold a gun to my neck, but you can indeed buy Uniswap. And to justify my conviction, by this morning, Coinbase and Crypto.com have listed Uniswap.
Yeah.
That's never happened before.
Then I also read somewhere that till November ending, that there are a series of activities on that UNI that will make the price to continue to grow. I don't understand. Maybe all this your technical.
No, you see what happens is if you have news, even in the stock market, news usually drives the fundamentals, and it usually drives people's sentiment on whether to buy or not to buy. If you have consistently good news for any commodity, the price is only going to go up. What happened to, let's take at Apple stocks. Apple stocks was going up persistently until Tim Cook came and said there's no new iPhone. And everybody was disappointed and the market crashed on them. So in the same way, you can expect that as long as they keep coming up with activities, they will have price appreciation. And as long as people keep making money on Uniswap, I can tell you that token is keep going to go up. But again, the overarching philosophy here is that we are in an era of unprecedented mass adoption. So forget anything we're talking about halving, and forget everything I'm talking about halving and retail traders. We're talking about an era where companies and governments are in a scramble to get into Bitcoins. So we're talking about trillions in market capitalization for Bitcoin. Right now, we are still less than $500 million in market capitalization. Even Tesla stock is more worth than the whole Bitcoin market, right? I mean, the whole crypto market right now. So the long-term picture it's mind-blowing. And to have people like MicroStrategy saying they're ready to hold, in fact, that 450 million worth of Bitcoin is almost like 20-something thousand Bitcoins when I did the calculation. They said they're ready to hold for the next 100 years. So I'll leave you to conclude, to make up your mind on that one. I hope I've concluded.
Now, so to some part of my question, if you have issues using the Uniswap, is there,
sorry?
If one has issues, maybe in the course of transaction, exchanging liquidity and all those stuff, and you have issues, is there any customer care or anything?
They don't have customer care now. It's not about customer care. It's not. That's why I said, liquidity pool, DeFi is not for the small players. It's not for, let me not say small player. It's not for the faint-hearted and it's not for the newbies. It's for what the Yorubas call the Obolobos, the people who are, skunk, hardened crypto investors. They're hardened. There's nothing you can do to them. They won't change their mind.
I was thinking that
usually to put your mind at rest, because it's all guided by smart contracts and algorithms. Usually, if you try to execute, for instance, and the money freezes and it looks like you are taking away your transaction fees, usually it will reverse it if the transaction does not go through.
Okay.
Usually, because look at it this way. These transactions are on the chain transactions. They are happening on the Ethereum blockchain. They're not happening on the exchange. When we're transferring money on the exchange, it's not on the chain. It's just transfer on the platform. It's like, how do I put it now? It's like websites, inside website transfer. I'm moving text from one part of my website to another. That's what it is like for moving money within the exchange. But in DeFi, the money is moving real time on the chain. The only difference is that somebody has created a bridge on the chain where either two unknown people are able to trade with themselves. The first basic level on the chain is peer-to-peer. I want to buy Bitcoin. Larry, do you have Bitcoin? I have Bitcoin. Let me buy 0.5. How much do you want to buy? I'll buy for 5,000, or I'll buy for 5 million, or whatever. And we agree. And you say, okay, what are you going to send me? I'm going to send you Naira. Then you give me your Naira account. I send the Naira to your account. You send me the Bitcoin. But what's happening here is both legs of the exchanges are happening on the chain. So if I want to buy Bitcoin, I'm saying, I want to buy Bitcoin, I have USDT. Give me one Bitcoin. You say for USDT, one Bitcoin is 11.5 USDT, just like we saw on that swap page. Once I click that in, we all have our wallets connected. What then happens is the system runs the transaction the Ethereum chain, collects the Bitcoin from your account, collects the USDT from my account, and does the swap automatically without need of any human intervention. So if it fails, automatically it should reverse it off.
Okay.
So there's no customer service.
Nothing to fear.
I was going to say that to Dr. Lalere. They don't have any fine man or fine woman there. It's automation, so no customer care.
You want Dr. Larry to come and carry you with, okay, I'm not there.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Demi. You really enjoyed tonight very, very thoroughly.
Thank you.
Dr. Demi.